Hey, good morning and welcome. I'm Karen. This is Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. Today's Friday. Yay! Hope you all are doing fantastic as usual. Only want the best for everyone. So, what is going on? I'm going to use the Barbieri. What do you got going on? That was the wheel. I was like, did I have it upside down? No, it was the wheel. The wheel kind of looks like that, kind of. Yeah, I'm mumbling. Okay, let's get started here. One more shuffle. I feel like it needs one more shuffle. What do we got? Okay, we have current situation is Queen of Swords, present influence, world, future influence, Emperor. I like that. Unexpected, Five of Cups, challenge, Knight of Cups, strength. Over here, Ace of Pentacles, like that. That's interesting. Okay, where does this lead? Hermit, Three of Swords, Ten of Wands. So there is something kind of hard happening over here. Advice. Fool. I like that. The cards aren't necessarily easy. There's like some hard cards, especially over here, but the advice is like, just do it, you know. Page of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is interesting. I'm not getting a positive feeling from this Page of Swords. And I normally like the Page of Swords, but it almost feels to me like there's, so this may resonate with some of you, maybe not all of you, but I really feel like this feels to me like someone watching you and not in a good way, like waiting for you to mess up, you know, almost like I'm getting that feeling like, and I know this probably isn't for everyone, but that's the first thing I thought. Like I looked at this Page of Swords, I didn't like it at all, at all. And it's it's odd to me too, seeing like all these other cards. Now that's probably not for everyone, but Page of Swords can be someone watching you. A lot of readers, especially online, see it as like someone watching your um, your social media, keeping an eye on you. But I didn't get that. I just got like, and not watching you in a good way. Like it felt very intrusive and almost like I'm gonna get you. And didn't I have a feeling like, I don't remember if it was yesterday or another reading where it was like, be careful. There's something happening, and I would just keep your eyes open and don't, someone that you don't know really really well, like, I would be just really, I mean, you don't have to like be mean or anything, but I would just be really careful and I would not give too much information out. If you don't know this person really well, be careful about who you talk to and what you tell them. Um, I'd be really careful. Uh, so sorry, but I mean, that's what I see and that's what I feel. So I have to say it. And the Queen of Swords is in your current situation, which to me is also like that energy of standing really tall. Now, the thing with the Queen of Swords is also keeping emotion out of things. They don't, like, they're very analytical, right? So they're going to be very specific. And I feel like this is really like, you may be in a position where you realize that you just need to keep the emotion in check for whatever reason. Now, I don't know what life area this is. It feels like it could be anything, honestly, because we've got all the cards here. Um, the next two cards are majors as well. And then we've got the major and advice and where this leads. So there is something, brewing here. The world is in the present influence, which to me means that you are looking at this. There is going to be a natural end, a natural graduation, a natural reaching a goal here and you're looking at like, okay, I'm at the end of my rope here, whatever it is, whether it's I need to change jobs or I need, graduating, whatever it is. And this is you putting in the effort, saying, okay, what am I going to do now? Where do I go? How am I going to get there? And, and then having the emperor there, though, I like that, and we'll get to that. So let's just look at that world first, and then we'll look at the queen. So what is this world and present influence? What is the world and the present influence, please? Ooh, Six of Cups, Two of Swords. This is a decision that you're going to make. Okay, then we've got the Page of Wands. It's like, so my first impression of the cards, and I like to talk about those first impressions, especially when they hit me hard, is like there is a decision between the past and the future here. And I feel like that world is you're realizing that you're at an end of some kind of cycle and that you're deciding on, do I stay with what I'm doing, which is the past, or do I move forward into the future, which would be the Page of Wands? Because I feel like the Page of Wands is like definitely jumping in, right? So there's this decision here that is working through you right now. Maybe there's like, I mean, if it's a relationship, it could be, do I need to move on? Do I need something new? Do I stay with the old? What's better? So there is a feeling here. That world is that feeling of, I know it's time to make some kind of decision. And again, you feel like you're at an end of a cycle and you have a choice to stay doing what you've been doing or to move on to something new. I mean, the Fool and the Advice is telling us what to do, right? So then what's the Queen of Swords in the present influence or the current situation? I feel like that's you having that analytical, intellectual, um, embodying that to move, like, what am I going to do next? Like, where am I going to go? Tell me about this queen, please. Page of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Temperance. Keep your cool with that Temperance there. Yeah, you feel like, even if this isn't true, you definitely feel like someone's watching you, and it's very frustrating because it's just weighing big time on you. You feel like that like, okay, like I mean, the weight is unbelievable, and the Temperance is okay. So the Queen, I got to figure out how to move forward so that I can make this, into something for me instead of feeling this heavy weight of, I feel like that there's something here where if someone's not watching you and waiting for you to mess up, you're feeling like they are. Like that's and so either way, it's not a good feeling. So it just really is telling me that, yeah, you're working on moving forward here. We have the Emperor and the future influence, which is about, taking control too, right? And this is a fire sign as well. It's a Aries depiction, and I feel like it's really speaking to us as far as, um, you know, like taking charge of your own life. So I feel like that's what you're realizing you need to do. You really need to go, okay, it's up to me. I got to take control of my own life. I can't have this feeling here, whether it's real or not. It's definitely real enough to affect you. Tell me more about this Emperor. And I feel like that's just what the Emperor is going, no, I've got to be in control of myself. What's happening here? I've got to take the control. Tell me about the Emperor. Oh, Six of Wands. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. So there is a feeling here. Yes, yes, yes. Six of Wands. I mean, I think that's the realization, the recognition and the realization of everything you've accomplished with that Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, she's not only, you've worked hard to be where you're at, and to have the knowledge you do, and whatever the situation is to you, it's saying that you've put the effort in, because the Nine of Pentacles doesn't just get there by happenstance. There's effort involved. That's what the Nine of Pentacles is. but there is recognition here. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles is you really need to hold on to this. And that's your superpower, is realizing that I have, I have come a long way. I'm good at what I do, and I can do more. I can do different, whatever this Queen of Swords energy is. But the most important thing is that Emperor, really, you're embodying your strengths here and realizing, I think these are beautiful cards, realizing what you can do. The travel is not going to be easy, obviously, with what's happening over here, but it doesn't mean it's bad either. Just because something's not easy doesn't mean it's bad. The Five of Cups is hanging out in the unexpected. And this Five of Cups, I do see this a little differently than the normal Five of Cups. I mean, she's looking straight and going, don't with me. I'm sorry for my language, but that's what I feel like. It's don't mess with me. And I'm getting that, like, there's the messing, and I'm not going to put up with messing with me. And I almost feel like you embody that. Like, no, you're not going to do this to me. Let's see what it is. I'm really getting that very strong. I mean, she's adamant. Don't mess with me. No, I'm not putting up with it. Tell me about this Five of Cups. Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. There's definitely something that is sparking in you right now. And the realization too, is you go like, I am the Queen of Wands, right? Page of Pentacles, though, I feel like is that I really need to work on doing something differently, because I need to start something new with this Page of Wands again, showing up for the second time. And I think what is surprising with this Five of Cups is that you don't expect yourself to be that tough. Like, I think you're almost expecting yourself to kind of give in to this feeling, this situation, where you're not going to do that. You're standing up to it with that Five of Cups. Like, again, that's normally not what the Five of Cups, it's about disappointment, but I don't feel it's disappointment at all. I feel like it's you standing up to it. However, sometimes when we stand up to stuff, it's not easy, and that's what's happening here. We have the Knight of Cups in your challenge. I'm almost getting the impression that I need to go find something that I love to do, and it's hard. There's a challenge here that you need to overcome. I don't think that's somebody at all. I feel like that's your energy looking and just going, okay, this is really not an easy thing. Because sometimes when we know we need to do something different, and we know we need to do something a different way, or we need to change or whatever, finding what we love is not always the easiest thing. I mean, we think, oh, I love doing some kind of crap. I love this. I love the feeling of this. How do I put that into a day-to-day working environment, right? That's not easy at all. Tell me more about this Knight of Cups in the challenge. Yeah, Two of Wands wheel. Yeah, it's like you are like, so I got to get out of this. Totally. Two of Wands, that planning, that moving ahead. The wheel, time is getting away. Time's moving forward. I can't, and it's hard. So yeah, you're having a struggle trying to figure out what you really want to do. What is going to not only motivate you, but hit that heart space. So it's not easy. The Ace of Pentacles is sitting in the Strength, which I love, because I don't know if this is an opportunity as much as it a realization that you need to start something new, do something new that's going to be lasting and stick with you for a while. So tell me about this Ace of Pentacles, please. What is this Ace of Pentacles? Ace of Pentacles. Nine of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and High Priestess. Yeah, or I'm sorry, Queen of Pentacles. So like the Nine of Cups. Those are your wishes, and that there's something that you can do with this Queen of Pentacles. This is like your envision, right? There's something I need to do that that will really embrace, you know, the Nine of Cups, everything I have, and I want and I dream of. And the High Priestess is like, you've your intuition has told you there is something better out there. There's something that's going to be more fulfilling than what you're doing now and dealing with this crap. And I feel like that's what this is. It's like crap. It's just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. And again, even if this is something where you're thinking someone's watching you in a bad way, or if someone really is, it doesn't matter. If you're thinking that way, then you're not in a comfortable place. So regardless, it's not good. The where does this lead? Hermit, Three of Swords, Ten of Wands. It, I feel like what could happen here is that you take a time out to think about what you're going to do, but you realize that staying in this situation is just making it worse. Like the Three of Swords, just it feels very heavy with the Ten of Wands. I'm going to pull one more card after that. What comes after this? Queen of Wands. That's good. So just wanted to get to a good place. Hermit. What's the Hermit, please? Three of Swords. Six of Cups. Okay, so I do feel like, yeah, you're worried about um, Three of Swords, you know, the separation of past, the things that have, you know, anytime we're thinking about changing what we do, we're starting something new, there's always that feeling of what am I leaving behind? Friends, or, you know, people that you work with, or if you're thinking about moving people around you, you know that this is going to be hard. But the Queen of Wands, you've got the motivation, and that's what you're contemplating here. I know that there could be a point where it could be hard, sad, very sad. Anytime we completely change something, it can be sad. But the Queen of Wands also is reminding you that, you know, that motivation, that excitement that she carries, and that, you know, the energy of this is what I really need. So you're in that mode where you're thinking about that. You're thinking about all of the things, and with the excitement, there's also the sadness, and that's a normal thing to think about when you're making changes. However, I do feel like you could be setting yourself back as you put yourself in that hermit. Instead of taking action, you're kind of reclusing yourself, which sometimes, yeah, we need to think about things before we jump into something new or do something different. But at the same time, don't hide from, you know, hide from making a decision and moving forward. So the next is the Three of Swords. So we'll look at that. Now, the Three of Swords to me is definitely sadness. It could be separation too. Um, and, you know, with separation comes sadness, but it doesn't always mean like hurt, right? So let's look at the Three of Swords. What is this Three of Swords? Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. The Two of Pentacles is the balance, balancing everything, but knowing that you really have to work on something. The Eight of Pentacles to learn, to master, and the Four of Swords is that break. So I do feel like there's something here that you might be hitting home with. You know, I think what's sad for you is not the learning or anything like this. I think it's the break. Like, I need to take a break, and that's making me sad. So again, I don't think it's this. The Two of Pentacles and the Eight of, you know, balance and learning something new. Now that can be hard, but I think it's the Four of Swords that's actually causing maybe a little bit of sadness. Because, you know, sometimes when we take this break, the Hermit, it leads to us thinking about things that our mind just goes to instead of what's real. And I think that sometimes when we're in that state, that maybe we are again, making, I don't mean like we're making, but we do, like when we start thinking things, we're making them a bigger deal than they are. And I feel like that's what could be happening here. But I do feel like there's some kind of break happening. And, it could be a forced break with that Four of Swords, and that would make you sad a little bit. Again, going back to maybe someone is watching you and trying to wait for you to mess up or do something that they can then relinquish things. Like if it's a job, like, okay, now I gotcha. And, you know, this is what's going to happen. You could lose your job or get demoted or whatever, or get written up. So then it becomes sad. But then it's like, I feel like there might be a forced break here. And that's going to be hard regardless, because it's kind of like a stab. And that's why I believe that you've got the Ten of Wands, which is that burden, that the heaviness of the Ten of Wands. Like this is just hard. But the good thing is that, I always say the 10 is at the end. The 10 may be hard and it may be feeling like a burden, but as soon as you figure out how to shift that weight, you can take advantage of a new beginning. Again, with that Ace of Pentacles. Tell me more about this Ten of Wands, please. What is this heaviness, this burden, this trap? It's almost like, he's got it's like a bunch of tree roots, like just grabbing at him and pulling him back, and he can't get loose. It just feels very heavy and hard. Tell me more about this Ten of Wands. Oh, there's that Two of Wands again, the Moon, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this is going to be hard because there's something unclear about the way to move forward with that Moon following that Two of Wands. And it's like, okay, this isn't clear to me how I'm going to do this. But I know I need to do it, the Ace of Pentacles. And this is like the ultimate Ace of Pentacles. I love this card. Just the way it looks. It's like, it's the grandest thing. And I feel like this is you going from dealing with this sadness to starting over. And that's the hard part. And it doesn't last very long because you've got the Queen of Wands following that. And to me, that's that energy of just taking advantage of what's put in front of you and then moving forward. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands. I like the Queen of Wands a lot. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands. Okay, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like it. It's going to be a little scary because we have the Tower there, but we've got Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the Tower. Basically, the Tower is that it could be a shift in energy or an ending. And what it's an ending to is you just sitting back on your tail, so to speak, like, I've been holding on to this. I've been quiet with the Four of Swords. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now I'm going to embrace that Queen and I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. The things that motivate me. I'm going to speak my mind to a certain degree. The Queen of Wands is more about action than harsh words. That would be the Queen of Swords. But I feel like you're going to embrace that action, that motivation of really moving forward, because that's what she's going to do. The wand courts are all about moving forward. They're about action. They're about doing instead of thinking or feeling, or they're doing. And that's the action that's going to be taken. And I really like that. Is there anything else we need to know about the situation to give us a little more clarity? Knight of Swords, Four of Cups. Yeah. Page of Cups. There's a part of you that, there's something that's come in, a message or something with that Knight of Swords, and has led you to really contemplate what you have in front of you and with what you really want. The Page of Cups is finding that gift and having that gift given to you. And I think that's what the Queen is you really realizing where to go next and what to do. And I'll be honest, like, it's crazy that I see the Fool. It's like, okay, do it. It's not, you always want to have your ducks in a row. I want to be really careful when I'm doing a reading. Again, this is, you have free will and you do what you need to do or how to do it. But it's when we know something's not right, or it doesn't feel right, or it just isn't right, then overthinking is just going to keep us in that same place. And this is like, well, maybe you need to jump and move forward. Doesn't mean you quit your job or do that. It just means it's time to really put into place where to go and how to move forward. Instead of going back and forth, do I stay, do I leave? Well, if I need to get out of here because this sucks, then it's time to put those actions into place, which you can do with that Queen of Swords, also the Ace of Pentacles in your strength. You know there's something better, but now it's time to jump in and figure out how to do it. I don't want to say jump in and just change because, again, free will, but it is about going, okay, like I know this isn't right and I need to do something either different or I need to fix it. And the Fool is taking that action. And taking that action also in a very um, honest way, because the Fool, you know, that young, that honest, that kind of feeling. So there you have your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Take care. Have a beautiful